Thank you for that. And of course, Dr. Richardson, forgive me again if I left anyone out. You all have a part in who I am today. If that's a good thing or not, thank you again. Of course, congratulations to you all, 2018 graduates. Preparing for this speech, I wanted to keep in mind the task I was given. I was asked to be upbeat and hopeful, to encourage and to inspire you. To tell you there is a glorious life waiting for you on the other side of your degree. As you know, there's a but coming. Because you all are not the middle schoolers or high schoolers that I tend to speak with, I decided I'm going to give you the information. I am going to tell the truth, and I'm going to tell you how I built a life on the back of my degree, how I designed and planned the life that I have today. The complex problem we all find ourselves in today is celebrity is worshipped and rewarded. The outrageous is applauded. You all want to create real work in a world that no longer recognizes what is disciplined and profound. Social media pulls you away from your study, I'm sure. Reality television challenges your notions of the real art form of acting and theater. You are forced to compete with nepotism and favors, but still you must tell yourself that the work will be worth it. The almighty Google says your future career options are media planner, multimedia specialist, program researcher, broadcast, film, radio, public relations officer, social media manager, television producer, web content manager, so on and so on. But I want to present to you all another option. My argument today is you all must create, all of you, even the adults here. You all must create. The world will make room for the person you all want to become, but you will have to create it. I have 3 points. Have a vision and begin. Create, create, create. Master self-mastery. My first point, have a vision and begin. You must have a vision for the life, for even your life if you don't know the plan. You have to have a direction in which you wish to go. The great philosopher Oprah Winfrey said this. When I left college, my dream was simple. I was going to be Cameron Diaz. With a little bit more melanin in my skin, I was going to be Cameron Diaz from the movie Any Given Sunday. My goal was to be the first African-American woman to own a basketball team because I believed the boys were having way too much fun. In the movie, Diaz is strong and courageous. She spares no fools, and she looks like she's having a good time running the Sharks NFL team in the movie. My dream was born out of that movie, a movie I saw when I was a teenager. I was presented with many challenges when I began my career in the sports industry, but one in particular stands out. The first day of my internship, the day after I graduated, probably 3 months before I took an internship, I was told that I would have to succeed in the world of sales. I would have to sell and sell well. The only problem is I knew nothing about the sports industry. I just knew I wanted to own a team. It sounded cool. I did not know where to start, but I knew I could talk to anyone. And so, of course, challenge accepted. I sold to everyone. I sold to my mother, her friends, and everyone in between. And after the 3-month internship ended, I was offered a position on the spot. I will tell you all again, begin with where you are and what you have. The charge I give you today is to wait on no one to do for you what you are capable of doing for yourself. At this point, with your degree, and for some a master's at that, you are more than enough equipped to create the life you want for yourself. If you don't see a way into the job or industry you want, create it. If there is not a company that fits your philosophy, build it. If you find yourself utterly unhappy with the way life has turned out, and it can turn out that way, those days will come. Reimagine your life. No one gave me permission to enter the sports world or the dream I had. No one gave me permission to write. I gave it to myself, and then I got started. I started right where I was. I started writing about the things I loved and I enjoyed. I got up early. I set a routine. I started living out the person I said I wanted to be in the world adjusted. It made room for me, and it is making room for the person I am becoming, and it will do the same for you. I saw a video on Facebook earlier this week. A man used a piece of wiring to tie the front of a walking lawnmower to the back of a golf cart. He hung took dice from the top of his creation and appeared to be having the time of his life. He just invented a riding lawnmower. How? How? Genius, I thought. Another thought I had was about us as humans. We are capable of inventing outrageous and workable solutions to our problems when we have had enough. Or, like my mother used to say while raising triplets, when she had had enough of our foolishness, she was fed up. My second charge to you all is to be fed up and, of course, create. Be fed up with the news media, the outrageous behavior of our elected officials, and the way the world asserts itself on you through continuous advertising. Be fed up. My point two, of course, is create. I believe, my philosophy, that you have what you create. You only have what you create. Nothing more, nothing less. I was a part of building 2 minor league NBA teams. Days were long, the nights were lonely. I'd moved away from the man who is now my husband in pursuit of my dreams. The process was exhausting, but what I learned in the building process is that no one can take that away from me. The coaching, the teaching, and the consulting, pouring into new seniors, graduates like you all who had came into the sports industry. I challenged my sales rep to design the life they wanted in the future and start here. Start laying the foundation for their future careers with a new organization that we were building in New York. Most of my sales reps were recent college graduates from the city of wealthier areas in upstate New York. That did not matter in our sales office because just like I did a few years earlier, they needed to learn how to sell. They needed to build a client base in the city we operated. So I challenged them by who they said they wanted to become. Whether it was a general manager, whether they wanted to own a team, be a sales director, be a coach, I would remind them when days were long and the nights were as lonely as I can remember, this is who you said you wanted to be. Let's create it. Be committed, be willing, be without fear or hesitation to do the work of creating. In the end, the work from what you produce with your mind and your hands is all that matters. It is what you have for yourself. It's what you get to keep for yourself in a world that is changing quickly. Post-rationalize. Realize as it pertains to your work, there are no mistakes. Create, put yourself out there, risk. If your project or if something you're working on makes no noise, doesn't garner the results you expected, great. Go back to the lab and create again. When I look at the world and what has happened to our political system, the indifference shown towards minorities, the popularity of the Kardashians, I see a world that is different from me, a world that values things I don't, a world that is changing, a world that is headed in a direction I don't want it to go, and at times I feel alone, as if I'm sure you all do. However, in the early mornings and sometimes at night when my phone is down and the television is off, I am reminded in the strength that comes in creating. We can reimagine and recreate the things that we don't like or see. The responsibility that falls on each of us as individuals with free will is to create something. I'm reminded, as a mentor used to say, if it's to be, it's up to me. And of course you guys. Point 3 is commit to self-mastery. Socrates demonstrated long ago that the truly free individual is free only to the extent of his own self-mastery. I realized a few years ago that I would not own a sports team. The dream, the vision that had carried me as far as it could take me. I had lived my early 20-something dreams of moving to New York. I met people this culture calls celebrities and famous people. I traveled to Johannesburg, South Africa to help with Basketball Without Borders, to build homes, to visit orphanages. I watched my hometown team win the NBA championships in 2011. Go Mavs. I left no dream unturned, but I wanted something more. The principle of priority states this: you must know the difference between what is urgent and what is important, and you must do what is important first. Writing and talking with young people is my heritage. It's in my roots. My mother did this work as a police detective, as a police officer for over 30 years. Leaving the confines of the walls of this place, you all have a plethora of choices in the creation process. It can go for you or against you. Why? Because out of your mind, you can create paths for yourself that you never imagined. Choose well. Allow your life to unfold. Allow yourself to risk, to cry, to laugh, to live. But remember, Newton's third law of motion is always in effect. For every action, there is an equal or opposite reaction. What you put out, you will get back. Master self. Decide what is important and do that. You probably have asked or will ask yourself the big questions. What do I want? What do I want to be? Don't fear these questions. Ask them of yourself often. Build a plan of disruption and decide today. A few borrowed guidelines in my plan: do not at any cost try to fit in. Question the status quo. Be kind. Envision an alternative. Be willing to create what you critique. As communication studies graduates, you all are in a distinct position to explain and communicate the world in unique ways. So do that. Embrace the opportunity to shape and tell the story. 8 years after my graduation, the things I know to be true. Service is the only way you secure a life worth living. The game of popularity is unwinnable, and even those who excel have to give pieces of themselves away. You have what you create. And if you all do not remember anything, remember love and humility covers all of your bases. So live brave and love people. Thank you so much.